Welcome back, students. We will continue our further topic. We were discussing about the trade and business on page number 30, lesson number 7, right? So, Maharaj, I told you he described the merchants as the ornaments of the kingdom and also the glory of the king. So, it was, let us continue with the second para then, trade business. It was the policy of Maharaj to protect industries. So Maharaj always looked after it, that how the industries could be protected. So see, step by step, first Maharaj understood the importance of agriculture, so he paid attention to the farmers, right, and the agriculture sector. Now this Maharaj understood that for the kingdom to prosper more, there is need for having increase in our trade, and that's why that means there should be progress in our business, and that's why he started paying attention towards the industries and protecting the industries. An excellent example of this is the salt industry. Let us see what is the example. This, he protected the salt industry in Konkan. How he protected the salt industry in Konkan? How? Let us see. At that time, traders imported salt from the Portuguese territory and sold in Swaraj. So now what happened at that time? In those days, salt was imported from the Portuguese territory. Okay, we didn't sell our own salt, but we imported from the Portuguese territory and sold in the kingdom, that is in the Swaraj. What happened then? That affected the local trade in Konkan areas. Now there was production of salt in our Konkan areas, so actually there was no need to import from the Portuguese territory, because we were producing, we had our local trade in Konkan areas. But then what happened? Due to this what we say, local trade of Konkan areas were affected, because we were not using for sell the salt produced in Konkan areas, but we were importing from the other territories and selling that in Swaraj. So that affected the local trade in Konkan areas. So Maharaj charged heavy duty on the salt imported into Swaraj from the Portuguese territory. Then what Maharaj did? So as to get value to the salt of Konkan areas, Maharaj what he did, he imposed heavy taxes, heavy duty on the salt which we were importing from the Portuguese territory, because whatever imports are done on that, we have to impose a heavy duty. We have to impose a little amount of duty, but Maharaj charged more heavy duty, okay, on which, on the salt imported from the Portuguese territory. Okay, then why Maharaj did that way? Because the intention was that the salt imported from the Portuguese territory would then cost more, and as a result its import would decrease and the sale of the local salt would increase. See, if we import anything at a very heavy tax or heavy duty, then while selling in our country or selling in our kingdom, we have to sell it at a high cost, yes or no? Otherwise we will not able to get the profit, we will suffer from loss. So then, by imposing heavy tax, heavy duty on the salt of the other kingdom, imported from the other kingdom, the salt which was sold into the Swaraj was having high cost, yes or no? And then people could not afford to take this salt, then automatically people started buying the salt of the local area, that is of the Konkan area, yes or no? Understood? So this way the import started decreasing, because it was not affordable, it was being sold at a high cost, more cost, and that's why the import decreased and the sale of the local salt started increasing. Understood? So this was how Shivaji Maharaj protected our industries. It gave the value, it gave the recognition to the salt industry in the Konkan area. Okay. Excuse me. Next, the military organization. There were two main divisions of the army of Shivaji Maharaj: infantry and cavalry. Okay, now in the army sector, even in the army sector, there were two divisions of Shivaji Maharaj. First is infantry. Let us understand what is infantry. Infantry means, foot foot soldiers collectively means the soldiers which are marching or fighting on foot. Okay, पैरों के बले जो soldiers लड़ाई करते हैं या march करते हैं. Okay, those are foot soldiers. Collectively they are called as infantry. And let us understand first infantry, then we will move on to cavalry. In the infantry there were officers such as the havaldar, jumledar, etc. So these officers are there in the infantry section. The chief of the infantry was called Sarnobat. Sorry, the chief of the infantry was called Sarnobat. He was the highest officer in the infantry. And what was his rank? The Sarnobat's rank was as the highest officer in the infantry. Then in the cavalry, now let us understand the cavalry. Cavalry means the soldiers which are fighting on horseback. Means they are sitting on the horse, on the back of the horse, and then fighting with the other enemy soldiers. So this way you have understood infantry means the foot soldiers, and cavalry means the soldiers fighting on the horseback. Fine. So in the cavalry again there were two types of cavalrymen, namely shiledas and bargirs. What they are called? Shiledars and bargirs. The shiledar had his own horse and weapons. So shiledars are one who have their own horse and own weapons. The bargir was provided with the horse and the weapons by the state. So remember the difference. The shiledar have their own horse and weapons, while the bargir are provided by the government. Fine. In the cavalry, bargirs were more in number. So in that kingdom, okay, in that section, if we see in the cavalry section, okay, there are two shiledars and bargirs. So out of two, bargirs were more in number. Means the weapons have to be taken by the government. So why? Because at that time our country was not self-sufficient in the production of weapons. Fine. So we have to depend on the government to get these weapons. So the large number of bargirs were there in the cavalry section. The ranks of the cavalry officers were similar to those of the infantry officers. The whatever ranking system was there was same in both the sections. Ranks of the cavalry officers and the ranks of the infantry officers were same. The highest officer in the cavalry was the Sarnobat. See, even in the infantry sector, the highest officer was called as Sarnobat, and even in the cavalry section, he was called as Sarnobat. Okay, Netoji Palkar, Pratap Rao Gujjar, Hambir Rao Mohite were some of the famous Sarnobats of the cavalry. So these are the names of the people who were the famous Sarnobats or famous highest officer of the cavalry. Okay. So I will again just let's learn. I will read that part and then stop. Let's learn. Obtain information about the armed forces of India. You can find this through the net. State the names of the three armed forces. What is the designation of the head of each force? And who is the head of all the three forces? So please find out these details, and as a type of homework post me so that I can understand how many are doing the homework seriously. Okay. Bye for now. Take care. Have a nice day.